Are we ready?
You're listening to
What's
Hollywood
up, everyone? We got a serious show today.
And all major podcasts.
One everybody needs to pay attention to.
You're listening to only the best internet radio station.
Make sure to listen to us on Spotify and iTunes, baby.
The universe.
Hopefully you guys like that interview with Jake Sawyer, former Hells Angels nomad. That is up right now. So how you guys doing today? Welcome to Motorcycle Madhouse Biker Radio. Gonna be doing it a little different today, especially that we've been digging into this story with the Philly Warlocks, president out of Chester County, and the Keith Palumbo deal. Now, I got to start off by saying I've been doing two of these segments. The first segment, boy, did I screw that one up. Everybody knows when I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. I'm not going to sit here and make any excuses. The way I covered the story the first time around without really checking into it because it came from a cop blog, that was just ridiculous. But then, you know, more and more people were contacting me, and they were rightly upset with the way I covered it because, quite frankly, it seemed like, you know, Leo was picking this stuff up and it came right out of a movie, but that wasn't the case. What the case was that, yes, indeed, they did find a body in that crypt, and that body was of Keith Palumbo. If you guys do not know this story, Keith went missing, and I'm going to give you a timeline because I've been doing a lot of research on this because I want to make sure that the family side is heard. I have not been contacted by the family. I've been doing a lot of research on this stuff, so no, it has not come from them. It's come from us looking around, poking around, and finding stuff out for ourselves, but our prayers do go out to the family. Another thing I want to say is the people involved in this, in that MC, that is not representative of what one percenters are. Actually, I know a lot of one percenters. I've talked to them about this story. They actually called me, emailed me, and they were disgusted by this. They were absolutely disgusted with this. What them Philly Warlocks did, at least out of that county, that's not an MC club right there, man. It's a disgrace to the MC culture. And I'm not going to be freaking apologetic for saying either. You know, everybody knows that I'm going to call it right down the middle. And what happened to this dude, it's pretty messed up, man. A bunch of meth heads. And, you know, I'm not really going to go into... everybody knows my feelings on that. I'm going to be straight up. Meth, you a bunch of... I'll just keep it clean. Let's just keep it clean right now. But what they did was just terrible, and again, is not representative of that. Also, for those who don't know the difference, the Philly Warlocks are not the Warlocks out of Florida that started in the mid-60s. They are totally different clubs. The Warlocks with the Phoenix has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with this. This is the Philly Warlocks, so there's a big difference. If you want to know the difference, go read up thegangsterreport.com. I think has a thing about it, and onepercenter.com, I think it is, has some more information on that type of stuff. But I just wanted to put out there that there are two different clubs, and the one club has absolutely nothing to deal with this. As you can see, the picture on my screen, if you're not on YouTube or any of the video platforms, come on over from Spotify and iTunes, and this is Keith Palumbo, who I got on the screen right now. And there's a story behind Keith. For one, I didn't know he was a tattoo artist, and everybody knows I used to own a couple tattoo shops. And that kind of hit me close to the freaking thing because tattoo artists are really freaking close together. But Keith does have a damn story here, and people forget about that when the news is being relayed. Not only mainstream media, but myself. Sometimes I really don't dig into the background of stuff. I'll anchor a story, let you guys know what's going on out there, and I say, hey, you got to go out there, find the information on your own, and make up your own mind. But in this case, after the first screw up in the first segment that I did on this, where I kind of played it down because, again, it was a Leo site, and I actually felt real bad for the family because it being reported on a Leo site, not mainstream or, not somebody that has some credibility, it's really going to destroy the story for them. So that's why, I kicked it in the high gear and wanted to get a story out. Keith comes from a large family. He had we found out he had 15 brothers and sisters, half brothers, sisters, step brothers, sisters. He was a talented artist in canvas, paper, and tattoo. He was also a talented musician that played in multiple heavy metal bands, and they did release an album. From what I'm hearing, people were saying, that were contacting us. He had a gentle soul. He never harmed anybody else. So that kind of makes the story a little more kicking, butt. But anyway, as far as we know, early May of 2019, his childhood friend, Michael DeLuca, was released from prison after serving 7 years of a plea agreement on convictions on weapons charges and aggravated assault for the shooting of his girlfriend in 2013. So we covered that in the second segment about this schmuck. There's a lot more words that I can use to describe this punk, but he's served 7 years on that plea for shooting his girlfriend. He claimed he was cleaning his gun. It went off. Then he gave another damn story. Early spring of 2019, he reconnected with DeLuca along with a number of other childhood friends. They encouraged Keith to join an MC against the wishes, with a lot of people around him. He started the Prospect, and he bought a 2004 Harley Sportster. So, here you got a childhood friend, and, he went and bought a bike, and you can tell if he didn't have a bike at that time, he really didn't know what MC life was about. And again, I'm not going to say MC life is about what these freaking morons put out there to them, because clubs ain't like that. Most 1%er clubs, I know the main ones ain't like this. And they make what the Philly I'm just going to keep on going. Mid-spring, now this is interesting. Keith's Harley is stolen and it went missing for a couple weeks. And then all of a sudden, the bike reappears and the MC takes credit for retrieving it for him. I guess the family is still under the belief, and you know what? I don't blame them, because it was miraculous that this bike showed back up, and they're taking credit for it. For one, the Philly Warlocks, they don't have that kind of street cred. They're acting like something they're not. And I can say that with almost 100% certainty. They're not what they were claiming to be, at least in that county. Now, can I make that assumption with if they got any other damn chapters out there? No, I can't. But the way that it read out, where the bike was stolen and it came back, for one, when a bike's stolen, there's two things that are going to happen to it. Now, I ain't giving you advice on this stuff, so don't take it like that. I'm just going to tell you two things happen. Either that sucker's stripped and the parts are sold, or it's retitled and shipped overseas. Those are the two things that happen to stolen bikes. Anybody who thinks that this bike just came back to him full, nothing messed with, nothing dented, nothing taken off of it, you're morons. I'm just going to put that out there right now. You're freaking morons. freaking morons if you think that, because there is two things again that happen, and that's either they're stripping it or they're taking it overseas. The reason why I personally think that they got the bike back to him is because they want to say, hey, we're bad, you know, we did this, we did that, and you got to do whatever we want because we helped you, you know, brainwashing the kid because, again, he just bought the damn Sportster, didn't know nothing about motorcycle clubs, so he's going off of what, you know, they say. Here's a guy who just got out of the joint. He probably thought, hey, this guy was something because he got out of the joint. And he's a childhood friend, so we're going to go that route. Mid-September of 2019, from what I'm learning, Keith is ordered to meet some MC members at a local bar. While waiting outside, he is ordered by club security to leave the premises. Because he was told by his MC members to meet them outside, he refuses, and the bar security calls the cops. Keith is arrested for trespassing and simple assault and resisting. Because I know a lot of people are looking up his police records right now. These are what is on the record, so a lot of this checks out. He spent about a month and a half, from what I gather, just looking at everything. Looks like he was attending court dates and court hearings. There was community service in there. From what I'm gathering, January of 2020, a member of the MC, I guess he was pretty, you know, drug-induced paranoia, showed up to a party where he was attending and shoots Keith twice in the leg as an alleged revenge for claiming that Keith had snitched on someone. He was transported by car to a local hospital where, despite being severely wounded and being threatened by police for obstruction, he refused to name the shooter. So no, that's not a rat right there. You could tell if he just got shot up, he ain't telling the cops who shot him. He wasn't ratting. Mid-January, 3 members of the MC walked into a bar that Keith is in and informed him that he has allegedly broken some unwritten rule of an MC and proceeded to take his Harley from him. Well, you could tell the kid he wasn't around clubs that much, because most clubs don't do that crap, none that I know. And besides that, they tried to, I don't care if you're wearing the same colors as me, you try that crap with me, I'm shooting you right between the freaking eyes. That's just the way it is. So this kid had no experience in this MC life, and he was, you know, being dragged along by childhood friends who thought they knew what the MC life was about. February 6th, he's last seen alive by his older brother around 8:30 p.m. when he, left the home, saying that he had people waiting in the car and had to go. It is thought that that's the night Keith was killed. February 9th, not hearing from him. I guess that's when, I think a family member filed a police report. Then 2 months went by, and there's all kinds of Facebook posts. I looked into them. They organized search parties. I was hearing that. The cops kept this close to their freaking, they didn't let none of this out. And then on April 20th, 2 of the suspected participants are arrested on unrelated charges and questioned. And guess what? One of them breaks, confessing his role to the cops and the whereabouts of the body. That's how they knew where to look for him, because one of those involved started talking. They recovered the body by dental records. And on the 8th, the family is notified. The news of the arrest and charging of Michael DeLuca in Wyoming is relayed to people, and I guess that's where a lot of it came out on that blog. And then April 20th is when they had his funeral. So that is the timeline of what we were able to get so far. Again, we're going to follow this from beginning to end. You know, I kind of feel responsible for doing that because, again, usually I'll just cover the news and, you know, anchor away and let it go. And a lot of the stories, I leave it up to you guys to figure out. But not this one. You know, this one is pretty messed up, man. Here you got a kid that don't know nothing about the MC life, and his friend, this meth head, you know, gets out of prison, talks him into joining this MC, and throwing all kinds of freaking rules at the kid, man. Taking his bike, you know, then acting like they're the ones who got it back, and then taking his bike because he broke some uncertain rule. They're nothing but garbage. That ain't the MC people I know. It really isn't. This is some street punk crap that they pulled. That's just my personal opinion. They're a bunch of freaking nobodies. And they were hopped up on everything. You shoot the freaking kid. The kid don't even freaking tell on anybody. He held this stuff. He honored what he thought was his loyalty to these people. And then here you go, and he gets shot and buried into a cemetery vault. What kind of death is that, man? That's some punk crap. Punk crap, man. There was no money involved. There was nobody snitching because I checked that out. He would have told somebody as soon as the shooting of, you know, they shot him up because some idiot druggie claiming to be MC wearing a freaking patch shot him, and he didn't say a damn word. Not a damn word. That ain't brotherhood, man. And that's why I want to be damn clear that most people that I know ain't like this. They don't think that way. They're hardworking men that go to work, support their families. Yeah, we get a lot of news that are real bad stuff. But what is this, man? You know, there was one thing that I knew growing up. If you're going to get into that game, you better know. I don't care if they were wearing a patch or you were with a street crew. It was always going to be your best friend that, you know, snubbed you out. There is no loyalty when, you know, you get guys hopped up on stuff. You know, that's one of the things that clubs used to have, man. You couldn't shoot up. Because who's going to trust a junkie, man? Who's going to trust a junkie with their lives? You know, I don't know if that's the way it is nowadays, but it used to be if you shooting up, man, you're gone. It's just the way it was, man. Or if there was money involved, yeah, you can guarantee it was going to be your best friend that did it to you. You know, it shouldn't have been the case in this case for this kid because he was trying to do it the right way. You could tell that he didn't have no idea what an MC was because he bought the bike later on. He was never riding. But this kid leaves a family behind, a big one. Man, it's just messed up. You guys got to let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Again, I'm going to cover it from start to finish. If you guys want to throw some stuff at me, my stuff is confidential. I'm not going to name who sends me stuff, all that stuff. I want to just make sure I report this story because the mainstream media isn't. And yes, I do give both sides of the story out. So if this club would like to get a hold of me and give their side of the story, 847-957-1686. I'll interview you on the air, let you get your side of the story out because that's one thing that we're known for. But don't expect a softball interview from me. That's what I have to say about that. Now, I got a video that's coming up that people close to, Keith made. So I had to change the music because of copyright stuff. But with that, I'll talk to you guys later.
is now available on Spotify and all major platforms, including iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, and more. Don't forget to become a subscriber on any one of these platforms so you can be notified right away when our weekly episode is uploaded so you never miss an episode.
Hi, this is James Hollywood Machikari. Join our YouTube channel and get Motorcycle Madhouse and tons of videos related to the bikers. Join now by subscribing for free and become part of the Throttle today. Always free and always entertaining. Don't forget to visit us at www.harleyliberty.com for your daily biker news. Rock on!